Hello, it's Simon Zucchi here. I'm the founder of CrowdProperty and I'm delighted to welcome you to this short video about the new development project on the CrowdProperty platform, which is 121 London Road, Southborough, Tunbridge Wells, Kent, TN4 OPL. So before I tell you about the project, let me remind you a little bit about CrowdProperty. So CrowdProperty is the property specialist peer-to-peer lending platform designed to facilitate loans between private individuals and professional property businesses. CrowdProperty Limited is authorised and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority under registration number 723959. CrowdProperty is not covered by the Financial Services Compensation Scheme. There are risks with any loan you make, and your capital is at risk. CrowdProperty endeavours to protect all lenders. This is done by registering the legal first charge against the property project. This means that in the very unlikely event a borrower defaults on the loan, CrowdProperty will be able to take ownership of the project and manage it for the lenders. So now let's talk about the project itself. Here's a picture on the right hand side. So the property is a building situated on London Road, Southborough, the A26. It's approximately 1 mile north of Tunbridge Wells town centre. Access to the motorway network is via the A21, which is 2 miles to the north and leads to the M25 Junction 4. Regular trains directly into London take 40 minutes. Tunbridge Wells has a population of 57,000 and provides the area with the largest district shopping centre. Local employers include NHS Trust and AXA PPP Healthcare. The opportunity comprises of a 3-storey end terrace mixed commercial and residential conversion scheme to provide 3 self-contained flats. Now the planning reference number is 17/02331/PNOCLA. 122LR Limited will be the borrowers, part of the JVIP group, and are well known to CrowdProperty and have paid back 2 loans in full, whilst 2 other loans are due back in July 2018. Their offices are 1-minute walk from this opportunity. CrowdProperty has agreed to lend a total of £250,000 for a period of 15 months. 122LR Limited has exchanged on the property and will complete on the 13th of March. So let me go into a little bit more detail about the opportunity. So the property is an end terrace, Victorian 3-storey shop on the ground floor with upper part situated on the corner of London Road and Holden Park Road. There is no outdoor space and parking will be on the nearby roads. The borrower is already contracted to purchase the property on the 13th of March. What that means is this loan will be starting on the 13th, so you'll actually be able to get your money working for you very quickly. Now the location, so it's situated within Southborough neighbourhood centre. Southborough is an extension of Tunbridge Wells, which is approximately 2 miles to the south. It's a mix of residential, office and retailers, including cost cutters, which make up the street scene. Access to the UK network is via the A21, which is 2 miles to the north. So the proposal is, the planning consent is to convert the property into 3 self-contained 1-bed flats of 30 square metres each. So that's quite a small 1-bed apartment, but in this area, there's quite a high demand for this type of accommodation. The planning reference is 17/02331/PNOCLA. Now the conversion is expected to take 26 weeks and the developer will sell the units on completion. So there's actually plenty of time built in to not only build but then also to sell the units. So just looking at the location here, here's a location. You see Royal Tunbridge Wells is to the south. You've got Royal Tunbridge Wells Hospital, the train station here. So it's in a really good location. This is the building on the corner of the 2 roads, as we said, at the end terrace. And so we've got a front elevation, side elevation. As you see, there is a separate entrance here, which is going to give access to the 1st and 2nd floor. There's the ground floor layout. You see the rough architect sketches here, and then obviously the first and second floor plans as well. So they're fairly compact living rooms, with obviously the kitchen being in the main living room, which is the way these kind of properties work, and then an ensuite which is off each bedroom, like so. Now, the borrowers are Richard, or well, as we call him, Dick, and Pete Dabner. The developers is a family-run business based in Tunbridge Wells. They're very experienced, having successfully completed over 30 projects during the last 15 years, consisting of extensions, conversions, and also new builds. They have borrowed and returned in full from CrowdProperty on 2 separate occasions. The first project was the conversion of the former Flying Dutchman pub into 4 flats and 2 commercial units, which are now they use as their offices. And the second project was construction of a pair of semi-detached houses on the site of a former pub car park. Both of these projects have been paid back. Not only that, both these projects are actually paid back slightly early as well. Normally, when we do projects, we ask the borrowers to add some extra time on to the end of the project, more than they need, because as you know, things sometimes take longer in property than expected. So we'd rather that people pay back early rather than go into extra time, which does occasionally happen. They're currently also constructing 2 new houses 1 mile away, for which CrowdProperty has loaned $460,000, due to be paid back July 2018, and they're on track to do that, which is really good. So just an overview of the project financials. So the total debt agreed has been £250,000. The loan is going to be used towards the purchase and also towards the conversion of the property. So although 250 is being raised in one phase, not all of the money will be given to the developer straight away. It'll be split into 2 phases. So first phase is going to release 157,000, which is against the purchase price of 225,000. So it's a 70% loan to value. In fact, the value is higher. The value from the RICS valuation has come in at 275. So there's some equity in the property, which is great. The next phase is going to release 93,000. Now, this is held in the solicitor's protected account and is released in stages, subject to the independent monitoring surveyor's reports. So what happens is we send a surveyor in, we see how much work they've done, and if they've done sufficient amounts, money is then released from the solicitor's protected account to the developer. The cost of development is going to be in excess of £100,000. So in other words, the borrower is putting in their own money towards the purchase, and they're putting in some money towards the development cost as well. The RICS valuation of the existing site with planning is 275,000. So there's already an extra £50,000 of equity in the property over and above the purchase price, which gives even more reassurance for the lenders. The GDV, the gross development value of the completed project, the 3 flats, according to the RICS independent valuation, is 500,000. The loan to value at exit thus is going to be 50% loan to value. So the initial loan to value is 70%, but it reduces as the properties are built, added to and developed, further reducing the risk for the lenders. The maximum length of the loan is going to be 15 months. We always take a first legal charge on the site, and the exit strategy is to sell the flats individually. So a little bit more details about the loan itself. So the loan is for £250,000, always secured with the first charge against the site. Now the interest on this project is going to be 8% per annum. Interest is always paid at the end of the project when all the capital is also repaid. The maximum length of the project is going to be 15 months, but it may well be less. That's allowing for about 6 months of build and then plenty of time to sell the units. The minimum length of the loan is going to be 6 months. So you're guaranteed to get interest for at least 6 months. The interest is prorated based on 8% per annum for the length of the loan. If it's paid back sooner, you get your interest, and obviously you can put it into another project. The loan will commence on the 13th of March 2018. What that means is when you pledge against this project, your money is going to be used very, very quickly, which is obviously an enhancement we're making to the lender offering. Capital and interest will be repaid from the sale of the completed development. Now, at CrowdProperty, we always believe in responsible lending and borrowing. The amounts that we lend is based on the project itself and also the experience of the borrowers. So there's one single raise of $250,000. The loan will be released in phases. So the first phase, 157, which as I said is 70% loan to value, and actually secured against the property, which the RICS valuation says 275,000. So in other words, they're buying at 225, but the RICS valuation with the planning is now 275. So an extra instant £50,000 of equity in there as well. Construction money will be released in stages based on the independent monitoring surveyor's verification, and the loan to value will be, by the time this development is complete, will fall to just 50% loan to value. CrowdProperty always takes the first charge to protect all the lenders in the event of a default. Now, the borrower is an existing client and have repaid 2 loans previously in full, and they have a current loan in play, which is due to be paid back in July 2018, and that is on track to be paid back on time. The borrower has plenty of experience to deliver this particular project. So what are your next steps? Well, all to do, make sure you understand the loan. So in other words, the interest rate is 8% per annum. The initial loan to value is 70% falling to 50%. You will be tying your money up for up to 15 months, but it may be repaid earlier. We always suggest you carry your own due diligence. Decide how much you'd like to lend. You can lend from as little as £500 up to as much as you want, basically. And so visit the website and make a pledge. You can lend from your business. You can lend from money in your savings account. You can lend in circumstances from your pension. And now you can even set up a CrowdProperty ISA and lend to your ISA for a tax-free secured return on your money. Obviously, when you register, if you're new, if you set up an ISA, we have to conduct the necessary anti-money laundering checks, and then send your funds through our solicitor and start earning interest on the completion loan date, which is going to be the 13th of March. I'd like to remind you that CrowdProperty is authorised and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority, and CrowdProperty is not authorised by the Financial Services Compensation Scheme. Thank you very much, and I hope you can support this project.